Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Cinnamon sugar, look a fool, I know, but don't come for me. Either today or tomorrow, if everything goes according to plan, I will be doing a Black owned business spotlight on some hair products. So you will see Cinnamon Sugar looking a little bit better than how she look right now. And I might have to do a close up for y'all to see how bad it's looking, but you know, it is what it is. Um, so yeah, I'm back to tell y'all about what has been going on this week at work and to give y'all a continuation of the foolishness, which is the thievery that's been going on around here. So anyway, let me go ahead and get into it. So I went back to work on Tuesday, okay? And I had an amazing week considering. Now, today was a day that I had to go into work. I had to go into work early, which was Saturday night, and then I got off in the middle of the night today, which is Sunday. Neither which are times and days that I'm supposed to work, but it's all right. Now, the way that it was on the rotation list, in all honesty, I could have been petty and said, hey, the person that's at the top of the rotation list is supposed to come in for these 4 hours. I volunteered for 4 hours, meaning the time that I put specifically in this book. Y'all approved that and said, hey, we could do that and split it up so that the person coming in behind you who want to pull a 12 can do that. But then, like a couple of days ago, they added my name talking about I had to come in early. Now, keep in mind, I've been here for a while. Y'all, excuse me. I got the hiccups. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, of course, when I start recording, the hiccups want to come into play. And I'm just like, come on now. I don't understand why you're coming out of nowhere like this. So anyway, y'all, just trying to keep it real because nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. Even when I become more and more comfortable in front of the camera, I'm not gonna be perfect. So y'all, excuse me for the hiccups. So yeah, so as it got closer to the end of the week, they started putting me in random places and all this other stuff, and I was like, okay, went with the flow, did my job. It was what it was. So like I said, today I had to pull 8 hours, but still, it was time that I really wasn't even supposed to be there. I'm still basically at the bottom of the rotation list. But the thing about it is that the person who was at the top of the rotation list until 11:59 on last night, he really was supposed to be the one who came in, but they assigned me to work. But they kind of did it like, oh well, she already gonna be here. She already volunteered to be here. Let's not have this man to get up out of his bed and come up here when she already about to come up here, but that's still, you know, it's still interrupting my sleep that I'm trying to get or whatever. So that means like as soon as I got off work this morning, I only had like no more than 4.5 hours to go to sleep so that I can get a reasonable amount of sleep before going into work. And as y'all saw by the video that is prior to this one, I still didn't go to sleep when I should have. I got an okay amount of sleep considering, but still I didn't get all the sleep I should have gotten. I'm gonna get back into that later on because there is a connection. And a lot of y'all probably already know where I'm going because I already told y'all and y'all pay attention to everything I put, community posts and everything. So anyway, so like I said, we get to the end of the week. I'm in random places. Instead of them just having me in the back all week, they start looking at me like, oh, you back there with us today? And I'm like, no, they got me here, there, and everywhere. I'm not gonna complain because this week, if I had to do 0% to 100% and rank how much work I had to do, I would say probably 25%, if that. That's me being generous. So I'm not going to complain. Even today. Today, I still even had a good day. Even though people kept trying to test my gangster, y'all, before I forget, I'm glad I even said that today, which really, at the time that it happened, was yesterday, last night. So I'm at work. As soon as I get up there, walk into some foolishness. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm handling that like a champ. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. The person that I'm working with, he cool. I ain't got no issues with him. It is what it is. So then I'm very thorough when it comes to communication, right? I had already told the people below me whatever the situation was that was going on with certain parts of that particular department that I was working in. If I'm running that side, I let you know exactly what's going on. And if the person who's with me does not have a radio which means they cannot communicate what's going on. I take it upon myself to communicate that same information to them as if it's my area as well. Well, we both have radios. Okay. For some reason, the guy don't like to get on his radio like that. So he don't respond. He just go do whatever they say. Like if they call about something that needs to be fixed, if it's something that we can fix, if he wants to. I saw today that if he wants to do it, then he'll do it. Because I ended up telling him about something. I don't think he heard it because he was in the middle of doing something else. And I was like, hey, they said they called over the radio and they said that you needed to adjust this. And he was just like, yeah, no, I'm out. Because he had shook his head and said something. He said it low. And I was like, huh? And he repeated himself, and he basically was like, yeah, I ain't doing that. They're gonna get what they get. I said, I know that's right. I don't blame you. And I walked off and went back to my side and was doing what I was supposed to do. Child, look here. Look, I done told y'all, I don't know how many times, that I despise being the breaker. If I'm gonna be the breaker, I would rather be the breaker in the back, okay? In the new department. So, tell me why I'm on the previous shift, basically, working that particular shift, because that time frame is considered, another shift. So the person that they had as the breaker, I know her. She's the woman that I told y'all about months upon months ago, probably about a year or so ago now. She is someone who, when she was new, she, nobody be having no issues with her. She is an older lady, but she do what she need to do. Once she got the hang of it, she's in there. Like, she do what she's supposed to do. Her department is my home department and all of that. But today they had her as the breaker. I saw ahead of time that she was the breaker, and I was like, oh no. Now, what I did tell y'all back in the day was that she got into it with the side heifer. Well, the side heifer tried to come at her sideways, and put it like that. She came at her sideways. Not tried, she did come at her sideways. And it's just like, why would you come sideways at her? She's one of the nicest people. Like, why would you do that? And she's a minister's wife. Like, apparently, her husband is an amazing pastor and all this other stuff. And like, she don't try nobody. She don't do nothing. Like, she really will try to help you. Even if she's busy, she really still try to help you. So I had already known she was going to be there. Tell me why, like 30 minutes after we got to work, she came over there. 20, 30 minutes after we got there. Like, it hadn't even been a full 30 minutes. She was like, and I saw the look on her face, and she just shook her head. She ain't say good morning, good afternoon, nothing. She just shook her head. I said, I already know. So then she finally started talking. She was like, this don't make no sense. They expect me to break out everybody, and how I'm gonna get my break. And I said, see, that's why I tell people I can't stand being a breaker. I don't like it. So today is one of those unique days where you literally, if you're the breaker, if you have the unfortunate task of being the breaker up there, you got to break everybody out. Unless you get some people who know how to break themselves out, you got to break everybody out. Because even in my department, starting out, there was only one person over there, meaning there's nobody else to break out with them. So essentially, if nobody else, she got to break that person out, because there's only one person running the department at that time. Well, so she had to break out 2 people in the side heifers department, break myself and the other dude out. 5 of us, not including herself. So 6 people she got to break out over the course of the next 4 hours. Okay. And I'm pretty sure she had to do that earlier too. Yeah, she had to do that earlier before I got there. So she's had to do this for the last, wait. I think what happened was they had her in our department, and then those last 4 hours they had her as the breaker. So yeah, she had to do this for the last 4 hours of the day. It's still infuriating. All the departments fully running, and you expect somebody to be able to break everybody out. One of the people that she had to break out cussed her out a couple of weeks ago about breaks. He knew, he just coming off of the 90-day probationary period. He was like, I want all of this. I want all the overtime. And I asked him the other day, I said, are you sure? Are you sure you're sure? Because there's some people who say, I want this, I want that. And then once it was coming, they about to get killed at this point. Like, they dying. The most is going on. I'm just like, you better cherish your time off. Every now and again, if you want to volunteer, I get it. I hear you. It is what it is. But don't sit up and tell me, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Do you really want it? Are you sure? Because they will work the mule out of you and then some. Oh, I can't wait to tell y'all about what happened today. Because, like, the most actually popped off today. The rest of the week was pretty chill. Nothing really happened. So I'm glad I thought about that. I'm glad I said that because it reminded me. Y'all don't pay me no mind. I'm kind of prepping my hair for what's about to happen. So anyway, y'all, so she was able to successfully break me out for my breaks and all that stuff, and everybody else too. But it's very infuriating. Like, I be trying to tell people, like, I ain't got time for it. I don't want no parts of that. I don't like being the breaker. The only time I don't mind being the breaker is if only one department is operational, where I'm gonna have to, actually break somebody out. So it's just myself and two other people I gotta break out. Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's amazing. Cool. Great. Got it. So yeah, otherwise I ain't here for it. So tell me why I go for the next 4 hours where I'm supposed to go, which is my department. We ain't gotta do nothing but set up when we got like it's like partially operational at this moment. So I don't 100%, I would say it's probably like 30% operational, which is why only one person is needed at the time. The rest of the department was gonna come up. What time is it? It should be up now. Like, literally should have just came up now if everything is okay. But if not, they're just gonna keep on trying until it's time for the next shift to come in. Y'all, so I went over there. He didn't have a schedule, of course, because he was up there running the lines. So we talking about some other stuff. And so he was like, do you know what's running over here? Da 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 da. I was like, no. He was like, well, can you go get a schedule? I was like, sure. I said, I'm gonna go try to harass my buddy, who is the dude that I told y'all he used to be in the life, used to be in the gang, drug life, and all that stuff, and he turned his life over and all that stuff. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go harass him because I saw him early. He came up there and looked, and then he saw the supervisor, and then he went over to where the supervisor was. That's another thing, y'all. The supervisor was there until 1 a.m. and then he left. We were told that no other supervisor would be there, but when I was on my last break around 3:45, right before I was about to leave, one of the supervisors that normally come in around 7:30 or whatever, she was there. So I was like, oh, y'all didn't know somebody else was coming. Ooh. Y'all gonna find out. I ain't gotta tell y'all. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all will figure it out. But usually when they tell us nobody else is coming in behind them, ain't nobody else coming in. I don't know if they called her and asked her if she would come in or what, but there are times that we have no supervisors. I don't know why the woman who normally just works on weekends isn't there, the supervisor. So we normally have two supervisors. And I mean, the one that left at 1 a.m. today, he works all week anyway. So like, he don't mind getting overtime, I don't think, because I literally see him like all week, and I work from Tuesdays through Saturdays. And he work weekends. I see him all week, and I just be like, well, dang, do you work 7 days a week at this point, sir? What is going on? So yeah, y'all, again, don't mind me. I'm just prepping my hair for later on. Y'all gonna see. And it's a method to this madness because the most popped off, and I already kind of told y'all about it before, so a lot of stuff is going on, and I don't want to gross y'all out for y'all to see what's going on, because y'all will be like, what in the world is going on right here? Because it's a lot. Y'all, so we up there. He over here, he'd asked me if I can go get a schedule. I said, sure, I'll go do that, because I'm going to harass him at the same time anyway, because that was what my plan was to do anyway. I was going to go down there and harass him. So I went down there looking for him, even though the person that I could have easily gotten a schedule from went right back upstairs. He was right there. I saw him. So I was like, no, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do, follow my original plan, and find this person to harass, right? Child, I done rolled up. So he didn't see me right at first because he had went somewhere and he was doing something else. So I stood with my hands on my hips like I'm waiting on him. He didn't know I had walked up. So then when he finally turned around and realized I was there, he looked at me like, I had never seen him look at me sideways like that before I bust out laughing. It was so funny. Y'all, if you saw that, just ignore. I already told y'all about some of the foolishness, but just ignore. So anyway, so he was like, what you want? What's going on? Whatever. So I told him I needed a schedule, and I explained the reason why. And yeah, he didn't even know. So he was like, yes, I do have a schedule, but I don't know if I want to give it to you. I was like, sir, I ain't got time for these shenanigans. Run me a schedule. So he ended up giving me a schedule, and he ended up asking me some stuff about what was on the schedule or whatever so that he could have it for his own personal notes, because he gave me his personal copy of the schedule. So, it is what it is. Y'all, We get down there. I'm having good old banter with him. I already know that the little side that I gotta run ain't nothing going on with it. It's fine. I don't need no help. It is what it is. It ain't no situation where I needed to rush back upstairs to man my area, right? So I'm about to go back upstairs. And so then old boy gonna tell me, he was like, hey, he wanted to talk to you. I was like, huh? So I look, I was like, I'm thinking he lying. I look and the dude is like hightailing it in another direction to go retrieve some paperwork. And I'm like, what is this about? Y'all, when I tell y'all, I got so pissed off. I got so pissed off to the point where I was like, what we not finna do is this. Y'all excuse me. If you know what it is, you know what it is. If you don't know what it is and you want to know what's going on right now, I'll tell you in the comment section because you're about to see some stuff. Because I'm trying to multitask because when I get off of here, I think I might go directly into the Black Owned Business Spotlight. So yeah. So if you end up seeing what you see, that's why. So don't come for me, okay? Thank you in advance. So yeah, y'all. I'm looking like, what could he possibly want from me? Like, I done already got the schedule. Ain't nothing else for him to give me. This man, he was like, did you? So he rolled up with some paperwork. Couple of copies of paperwork. And other people came along with him. And I'm looking like, why is, I already don't like, I barely like myself and one other person talking at the same time to one another. Why is everybody rolling up? Now, this was pre-COVID. I don't like everybody named mama rolling up when I'm in the middle of a conversation with somebody. If we need to talk, let's talk one-on-one. What's going on? What you talking about? So he was like, did you see this? I don't know if you saw it or not. I was like, what? He gonna show me a piece of paper where somebody wrote out a list of chores, and that's what I'm calling it, a list of foolishness that they think I was finna do. And so I look, my eyes zeroed in on the foolishness, which was they had my name and two other people's names by specific things that they wanted us to do. I said, nope, I'm not doing it. I saw my name in another word. Those were the key words for me. I said, nope, what I'm not finna do is that. And I started going off, y'all. I got loud before I knew it. I just couldn't. I don't like when people try to test my gangster. And my gangster was being tested in that moment. So yesterday I was over in my department and I helped to make it not operational, that particular part of the department, because that was a part of the situation. That's why, in a way, I can't wait to tell y'all what it is that I do, and y'all gonna understand why I said it the way I've been saying it this whole time. But anyway, I did everything I was supposed to do and then some. Had somebody else over there helping me. They stayed over to help do that. We were actually able to get it done a lot faster because it happened faster and sooner than we thought it would. So I was like, yes, I definitely can have somebody to help me, because they actually were anticipating it to happen 4 hours into our shift, which means I would have to probably go start it off and do it myself. And then somebody might come along later on. Cool, whatever, do what you do. I've had worse situations to happen. So, there are times I go and do it by myself. The most hated task, right? Child, that piece of paper had my name on there for me to go do all this stuff. Y'all, it's people. The people came in yesterday who come behind us to do what they do, right? Y'all excuse me. I don't know what in the... Child, my bad. So, people came in behind us to do their job, right? If you come in behind me to do your job, that means my job has already been completed. I already finished. I started it. You're supposed to finish it. These people come in and they do a job for 10 hours straight that they have certification to do all this stuff, all of that, whatever. And I'm just like, no. And what they do, if you're ever a part of it, you have to sign a piece of paper so that they know once you do this one particular thing, if you're going to be a part of that, you got to sign it. So they know that, oh, if something pop off, if something wrong or whatever, they're going to look back on the list and be like, oh, well, who was over there who participated and helped to do that? You ain't finna see my name on it. So I went off immediately. I said, I'm not doing it. I started screaming to the top of my lungs. I'm confused as to how I even have a voice right now. I really was screaming to the top of my lungs. Y'all, I screamed for like 2 hours straight. Not even about that. I'm going to get to the rest in a minute. So I'm screaming. I was like, I ain't doing nothing. They got me messed up. I'm not doing nothing. I didn't come here to do this, and I'm not doing it. I don't care what they say. So at this point, y'all, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm yelling at the guy who I initially came down and harassed. So he normally be like real gangster. He really always be trying to test my gangster. And he knows how to kind of push my buttons in a way that will get the reaction that he's seeking, right? He was so nice and sweet and calm. And he was just like, why are you yelling at me though? I wasn't the one who gave you the paper. Why are you yelling at me? He really was like really calm. Like normally he's super loud and y'all, it's like sometimes when I'm yelling, when I'm going off because of stupid stuff like this at work, it's like I'm having an out of body experience. I know it's happening. I know I'm doing this, but it's kind of like a part. I'm kind of peeking out. I feel like my soul peeking out a little bit. Like, ooh, girl, you setting it off just a little. Wait a minute, because it's like I'm looking at myself, and then I'm looking at everybody else who is experiencing this moment. And so I had that moment then, and everybody was just like, "Oh my gosh." But the person who gave me the paper, he was like, you know what? I agree with you because they had to do some more stuff that ain't had nothing to do with him. And I'm like, I'm not finna, y'all, I said, I'm not redoing nothing. I'm not doing anything. I didn't come in here for that. I don't care. So then it was like, well, he was like, why are you telling me? Why are you going off on me though? I'm not the supervisor. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not the one who gave the paper. I was like, I understand that. I'm just yelling at you because you here. Like, everybody started laughing. Like, I don't know what it is. Everybody be laughing at me. I say all kinds of stuff. Whatever comes to my mind, that's what I say. So, anyway, like, I was furious. So, I go upstairs. It's like some of the people who were supposed to help do the task, they already went up there. I literally told everybody, and I said it loud as I could say it, that I'm not doing it. I don't care what you say to me. I'm going to go on a break. I'm going to continue setting up upstairs, and I'm going to go on my last break, and I'm going to go home all without doing that task because that's not what I'm supposed to do. These people came in early. Several of them came in early and started this task. I'm not doing it. I'm not going behind them. And it has become a running theme that these people will come in, half do a job, and then they look at us like, oh no, so we done made this list of things y'all need to do. And I'm like, why y'all making a list of stuff we need to do? Y'all should have said something to these folks before they left. Y'all should have said something before they left. These people was here for 10 hours. This is literally their job. This was the reason why it's set up to not be operational anymore so that it can accommodate the times that they are going to be set to come in. I don't have time for this. I'm not gonna be a part of it because, man, one time it was so bad. They talked about this situation on all shifts. I'm talking about I could be coming in. People who were leaving out was talking about it. I could be leaving out for the day. People coming in talking about it. People on our shift talking about it. I'm talking about it was like 2-3 weeks straight where it was just that massive of a mess up that nobody could seem to get right. And when I told people, I said the Lord knew, because that one particular time, everybody who was above me had to stay over and do it. And I think myself, I might have been the only one who escaped that actually was eligible, if you want to put it like that, to pull 12-hour shifts because everybody else on 9-day probationary period. When I tell you, I walked up out of there so fast, I didn't know what to do because you're not going to get me. So, y'all, I got back upstairs. And I started going up the stairs again. And so some of the people who were going to go up there and help to do the task, they said something to me. I was like, I don't care what nobody do, but I'm not going up there to do nothing. I'm not doing it. I'm going to go back where I was to continue doing what I was here to do to begin with. And it ain't that, because that's what them people got paid to come in here and do. So I went up there. I'm furious. Like I'm getting hot. I've been freezing. So now I done got hot. So that's how I know I'm really mad. So I done got up there. And so everybody sees that I'm coming back up the thing. And I might have been gone maybe 7-10 minutes tops or whatever, right? So they all see me. And so even though everybody wasn't over there in my department, they see me and they were congregated around the guy who I was working with. So he was like, what's going on? What's up? Because they saw my face. I'm trying to tell y'all, I cannot hide how I feel. No matter how hard I try, I know that whatever I'm feeling is going to be written all over my face. So he was like, what's going on? What's up? So I told him, I said, first of all, here go the schedule. Second of all, look at this, read this. So then my partner, he had like I told you, everybody kind of like broke away. They saw me coming or whatever. And so he started walking. So I was like, I called his name. I didn't know where he was. I had completely forgotten where he was on the schedule. I didn't know if he was in the back. I didn't know if I didn't know what he was doing. So I didn't know if he was going to be an extra person in the moment waiting on something. I didn't know. He was actually in the side heifers department with one of the new people working. So I asked him, I was like, so what are you doing? He was like, what you mean? I said, where are you working? So once we finally got to my answer that I needed from him, he was like, oh, and he saw the paperwork and he read it. He was like, what is this? I said, read it, because I'm not doing it. And so I started going off again. And so he gonna start telling me, you need to be better than this. I know you're better than this. We have to deal with teamwork. It's all about teamwork. You have to be a shining example. I said, I'm not doing nothing. I'm returning energy. I told him straight up. I said, them people don't care about me. I'm not finna work myself into the ground for these people. I'm not doing it. I came in here to do a job. I'm doing my job. I'm not finna overexert myself. My hand is already suffering from me setting it off. That one day when I ended up getting hurt, I was doing the absolute most for this job. So I was like, no, I'm not doing nothing. So he kept on saying, oh, well, you need to do this. You need to show the new people how to work as a team. I said, I'm not doing it. Even my partner said he ain't doing it. I said, and he was like, well, what about the people who came? I said, that's exactly what I'm saying. And they came in early. And see, where he was yesterday, he was all the way in the most hated department. So he didn't know what was going on. He didn't see it. Like he didn't see, like he wasn't able to see when everything first started. And I told him the fact that these people came in early and started on this, because we finished exceptionally early. Everything, it was perfect. This was one of those days that I was so thankful. I was like, oh, I'm so glad it went down earlier, because I hate playing the guessing game, because I can't ask them when is it going to happen, because I end up having to like plan my lunch break and my regular breaks at random times and hope that soon after that or way before that is supposed to happen, that situation is going to go ahead and resolve itself so I can get that out of the way and then get back to my normally scheduled program. Child. Oh, y'all, I was screaming. I was really screaming to the top of my lungs. I really don't know how I didn't lose my voice. I really was screaming. So I had already been screaming downstairs. Came upstairs, started screaming again. Like I said, it was like close to 2 hours. I pretty much was screaming. Child, I'm gonna have to go back and do a part 2, because the most had popped off with that, and I gotta tell y'all update about the thievery that's going on around here. So yeah, y'all, it's getting close to that time, so I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna go back into the second part of this, so y'all can see all, hear everything that's been going on. This is partially me venting, because it's like people really be trying to test my gangster, and like if I was to really pop off the way that people deserve for me to go off and set it off on them over the things that they do to me, they would be somewhere in the fetal position. Like I'd just be like, y'all, if I didn't need this job, if I didn't need this place to stay, if I, you know what I'm saying? There are just so many dots that are connected. Like if these things were not needed, y'all, if I knew that I could do this and not go to jail, oh, you would be stomped out and then some. Like anyway, y'all, I will be back momentarily with a part 2 to this foolishness. Sit tight. All right, bye.